All right. Hey, I'm Riley Van Wickle. I'm a freshman business major at Clemson University. The reason why I set up this interview is because I was interested in your major and how it led you to your career path. First off, I want to say thanks for taking the time out of your day to set up this interview with me.
Sure.
Um, let's start off with just a couple baseline questions. Can you tell me your name and the industry you're in the business you're in?
My name is Steve Van Wickle. I'm a pool contractor. I build and design pools.
Okay, and what type of responsibility, what would be your job title, would you say?
I'm considered a project manager, but I do everything from selling and designing to managing all our subs and employees to all the invoicing, billing, tracking our cash accounts and cash sheets throughout the whole project.
Okay, and so there you go, there are your responsibilities basically. What is your company name and where are you guys located?
Oh, Paradise Pools and Gardens. We're located in Central California. Our office is in Los Gatos. All our jobs are mostly in the Silicon Valley area, Palo Alto, Los Altos, Hills, Atherton.
Okay, and it kind of sound like you covered this, but what industry are you in?
It's
Just
construction. It's. I mean, we're a pool contractor, but we do everything from water features, waterfalls, fire features, hardscapes, outdoor living, kitchens, cabanas.
okay. And could you talk about your degree and where you went to school and what your degree is?
So I went to Clemson, graduated in '98, was a business management major. Um, yeah.
Okay. And how did your career path develop? Like, did you go straight out of college to being a project manager, or where'd you go right
I
after
was
that?
a I was a business owner. I started a landscape construction business, owned my own business for about 12 years, worked for it or with a other pool contractor, the company I work for now. He would sub us out to do all the landscape. He would do all the pool construction, and our working relationship grew and was, you know, clear that we worked well together. So he convinced me to shut down my own business, and I started working with him a little over 7 years ago.
Okay. And what training or education is required for your field of work now? Like, did you have to learn anything else going from being a business owner then to being the project manager for your company?
Yeah, I mean, I think truthfully, I think a lot of it you may be able to learn in the field or through experience, but I did go to a construction school. I did take some hydraulic engineering classes. I do think my major was a big benefit, business management. I think not only from the economical or the financial end, um, just working well with others, employees, team building, job satisfaction, employee satisfaction. The whole human resource end of it came in very handy as well. So I think my major was a key role in not only being a business owner, but even working well within a company.
Mhm. Would you say more of the specific skills necessary to be a project manager and design pools and set all that up was learned once you started working for Paradise Pools and Gardens?
Yeah, I really knew nothing about building pools until I started working with him. A couple years in is when I took a few classes. So most of it really has been experience. I think my own personality is very design oriented and attention to detail, which I think comes in very handy for the type of clientele and the type of pools we build. So I think it's probably a blend of my personality and own personal talents combined with my experience in a business management major, and then compiled with my experience building pools for the past 7 years.
Could you briefly go into what goes into building a pool? Like, not, it doesn't have to be super in depth, but step by step kind of the process.
Yeah, I mean, I think first we if I took it all the way back to when we meet with the client, we'll try to figure out what their design intent is or what their needs are in terms of the pool. Whether it's more traditional, whether it's very ultra modern and linear, any special features they want. And we'll go from there where we'll start a little back and forth conversation with design drawings and consultation until we get a final product that they are happy with. And we'll get our construction drawings done. We'll get the structural engineering taken care of and the whole permitting process taken care of before we break ground. And then in terms of in the field construction, we'll string it and lay it out, form up the pool. And then each phase is excavation, rough plumbing and electrical, the rebar installation, gunite, which is a dry mix shotcrete. It's basically the concrete that's shot into the pool for the pool shell, the rough shell. And then we'll do all our finished masonry, like tile, coping. Coping's a stone that goes around the pool, the perimeter, and then plaster. And a lot of times there's other water features that are involved, or deck jets, or scuppers, or spillways, fire features that will all get installed in parallel at the end of the project as well.
And on average, how long would you say one project takes to complete from start to finish?
Sometimes it's hard to gauge. We generally work for a lot of high-end custom home builders. So we'll come in when the house is only framed up, and then generally we'll leave for about a year and then come back to finish. But I think a custom pool probably takes 2.5 to 3 months in full. I've got some pools that they're so detailed and so technically engineered that it could take 5 or 6 months to build it.
Okay. And budget wise, what would you say is your guys' budget as far as picking up a project goes?
We do some pools in the upper 200,000s, but I'd say majority of the pools right now, I've got 4 that are all over $1 million a piece just for the pool. I've got probably 4 that are in the 8 to 900 range, 8 to 900,000, and then a handful, probably between 3 to 500,000 all going. Right now we have about 15 pools going at the moment.
Mhm. How many employees do you have work? I know you pull in from different crews, but how many employees would you say like you have working for you at a given time?
In-house employees, we're considered a smaller company. We really kind of act as a general contractor. So I've got 2 assistants who help me project manage, and we have 4 field guys who do everything from excavation, steel, plumbing, as well as a couple office managers. And that's just in-house. I'd say in any given week, I probably manage anywhere from 50 to 70 people, if you're inclusive of all our subcontractors that work for us.
Mhm. If you could choose an alternative career path, like, is there anything you would have in mind to like something you'd want to go into besides this?
Probably architecture or design.
Mhm.
It stems away from business management, but I think that's probably very relative to what I'm really good at.
Mhm. And who do you report to? Like, are there multiple people you report to, or is there one major boss that you communicate with?
There is the owner of the company, but I generally run all the projects. So we do have a lot of back and forth, but I essentially report to myself.
Mhm. And what parts of this job do you find challenging, and what parts do you find satisfying?
I think probably the most satisfying is reaching the final product. We just do some really amazing custom pools. They're not always your traditional pools. So, we built award-winning pools, and when you get to the final product and you can step back and appreciate how much effort, blood, sweat, and tears and the design that went into it's probably the most satisfying thing for me. I think right now the most frustrating is how busy the pool industry is and how much work there is coming in right now, and just some scheduling issues and COVID related supply and demand issues, cost issues with materials escalating really rapidly. Mostly all COVID related, as well as industry related. And I think right now we're operating at probably 2.5 times our volume that we normally do.
Mhm.
So
And
it makes it a
sorry.
little challenging. Go ahead.
What geographic restrictions do you find yourself running into? Like, are there any as far as building the actual pools go?
Not really. I think, I mean, issues right now in the wintertime is a little challenging. I just had probably a 30 or $40,000 cave in related to a rainstorm. Um, Sometimes you'll hit water, things like that. But I think overall, we have methods in place that help us work through any issue that we come across.
And what about personal geographic issues like travel time? Like, how do you have to travel to your job, your work sites?
I commute. Yeah, I mean, I'm about an hour to an hour and a half away. On average, 45 minutes to an hour away from all my jobs. So I drive from home to each of these job sites. Our office is probably only 35, 40 minutes from home.
Mhm.
Um, um, so I'm a commuter, but it doesn't really bother me.
Mhm. And sorry, what are your hours looking like? Daily hours, weekly hours? What would you say that is?
Um, I probably work 11 to 12 hours a day on average, not including my commute time. So I think each week I'm 55 to 60 hours a week.
Mhm. What like hot issues would you run into in this field of work? Like, are there any problems with employees or customers that you have to deal with?
Um, I think we've been blessed with a lot of amazing clients and homeowners that we work with. We work with some great custom home builders, general contractors, some of the best architects and designers around. So we've been really fortunate with that. I think um, you occasionally work with someone who's extremely challenging just in terms of what they want. But I think that goes with the business. I think our attention to detail and the level that we build at, the design at, I think we're a good fit for those people. But um, I think overall, yeah, I mean, I think we're really fortunate. I don't have a ton of issues. I mean, I think employee wise, we've had a great crew that's stuck around for a long time, but um, there is a little poaching here and there. I think when you get good employees, you'll have other companies kind of stepping in trying to get them. But fortunately, we've been pretty unscathed in that area.
Yeah, that kind of leads me into my next question. Who are your competitors in this field? Are there like certain companies that you see frequently?
Yeah, there's a couple other pool contractors who we compete with, but in the whole scheme of things, only having, I mean, there's a lot of pool builders around here, but they're considered production companies. We're more custom kind of specialty or boutique pool builder. So there's only, to be honest with you, there's some pools that we build that no one else will even attempt to build. They're just it's the design intent and the engineering of it all that they don't even want to get into. So there's probably only one other pool contractor that would even attempt some of the pools that we build, and um, our competition is low. There's a ton of business out there, and the relationships that we have with our other general contractors, designers, architects, they're very loyal to us. So there's no shortage of work coming our way.
Okay. And then if you were to go back to that day that you closed down your business to take this job opportunity, what's one thing that you wish you had known going into it?
Uh, uh, I think the potential of shutting my business down sooner was I should have shut it down sooner, to be honest with you. I should have taken this step sooner. And I think going into this and there's such a big learning curve in pool construction that, after 3 or 4 years in, I think, just the creativity that I get to have, and how every pool is different, every design is different. I think it pushes me in different ways. And it was a great financial decision. I, I wish I had made the move sooner.
Mhm. Where do you see Paradise Pools and Gardens going in the next 5 to 10 years? We'll go 10 plus years.
I think we're still working in the same area here, same type of clientele. Very selective of who we work. We always try to qualify who we're working with. But I think I will probably have a couple more, maybe 3 more project managers below me, so we can increase our volume just a little bit more. I think it's important to work at a level and a quantity of jobs where you can still do them well. I think stretching yourself too thin, we're going to compromise our quality and our relationship. So I do see probably doubling the volume we're working at now, maybe tripling if we're lucky,
Mhm.
within a 10-year range.
And if you're looking for these new project managers, what type of qualities, what type of things are you looking for in a person before hiring them?
They just need to be driven. I think they need to have a really great attention to detail. I think they need to be conscious of working long hours. I think someone who, comes in and puts their 8-hour day in is not going to really make it. I need someone who's really inquisitive, is ready to learn, is going to research and figure things out on their own. Um, Long days are very important. It's the only way you're going to keep up. And having some construction sensibility, and just common sense, and uh, knowing your job, knowing it well, knowing the construction drawings really well. So I think it's someone who, it just takes a certain personality, and it's just not for everybody.
Mhm. And then personally, 10 plus years in the future, where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself, your hours going down, close to retirement? Where around are you?
I probably see him going down. I have a feeling I'll work at this capacity for the next um, 6 to 8 years, and then I'd like to pull it back to 40 or less, and hopefully be retired by 60.
Mhm. All right. Well,
He'll still have a stake in the business, but just in a different capacity.
definitely. All right. Well, that's all I have to ask today. Thank you for your time.
Sure,
Appreciate the interview.
no problem. Anytime.
All right.
Take care, Raul. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot. See ya.
Thanks.